Hey everyone, I've got a little under 10.5 minutes to go before I have to go back to work for my break here, my first one. But I thought I'd kind of give more thoughts on the whole Roman Reigns suspension deal. Now, I'm not sure if X-Man's going to talk about this, or OTRS Central, or anybody else. But I thought I'd kind of bring up something that I kind of found interesting. I read online, and I think Richard Gray of Wrestling News World provided this. I think Sean may have talked about it in one of his videos. I know PW Insider, Pro Wrestling Illustrated Insider, may have talked about it. Ringside News, I think, talked about it. But recently, information over the past few days has been additional information, I should say, has been added to the whole Roman Reigns suspension. That additional information is that originally, from what has been reported, Vince McMahon wanted to cover up the whole wellness violation that Roman had committed. The reason being, obviously, Vince McMahon didn't want to have to take Roman off television going into Battleground and into the SummerSlam season. And that the only punishment Roman would get for violating the wellness policy is dropping the WWE World Heavyweight Championship to Seth Rollins cleanly in the middle of the ring, who would then eventually lose it to Dean Ambrose via cash-in moments afterwards. Yeah, that, according to some additional sources, would have been the only punishment Roman Reigns would have faced. Unfortunately for WWE and Vince McMahon, word got out of what Roman did, and thus WWE had no choice but the following day after Raw, but to suspend Roman Reigns for 30 days, and then, I guess to make sure, and then again, I guess just, to sustain or satisfy everybody out there, they actually, for the first time, I think ever, acknowledged a Roman Reigns violation. Yeah, they acknowledged the violation on Raw this past Monday night. Now, I'm sure everybody that's read this additional information that's been, brought to the forefront, I'm sure a lot of you are probably pretty much saying that this confirms one thing. You see, for years, a lot of people have said WWE has always played favorites. And you know what? This obviously proves that theory is true. A lot of people, from Phil Brooks, CM Punk, to everybody, to Matt Stryker, I think, to Cody Rhodes, or whoever, I'm pretty sure has come out and said, look, the WWE has the favorites. Vince McMahon in particular has his favorites. And that because of that, not many people get an opportunity. A lot of people bring up the fact that had it been somebody below top main event status, like maybe mid main event, low main event, upper mid card, right in the middle mid card, and lower card, then that person would be gone for so many days and not even be acknowledged. Sometimes, if it's a high profile guy like, let's say, Randy Orton, the only way they'd be taken off television is via injury. That's right, they'd have to be taken off television via injury just so WWE could cover up the fact until it's leaked out that this person committed a violation of the wellness policy. So, again, like I said, they'd basically write somebody off TV via storyline injury or storyline suspension just to cover up the fact until it's leaked of a real suspension, a real violation of the wellness policy. But again, this shows in the eyes of a lot of fans that WWE does probably indeed play favorites. Well, not probably, but does, I should say, play favorites. Because if what's been reported is true, and had word not been leaked about what Roman Reigns did, then Roman Reigns would still be on television, and there would be no doubt Roman Reigns would probably end up winning back the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Battleground. Now WWE is put into a pickle to where, as much as maybe Vince McMahon wants to put the belt back on Roman as quickly as possible, it ain't gonna happen. Like I said before, if they want to make him champion before the year's out, hey, there's no problem, that's probably gonna happen, but they gotta take their time. Yeah, they gotta take their time, because if they rush into this and they let Roman become champion sooner than later, instead of saying, hey, let's wait maybe 60 days, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, and let him prove himself all over again, it's gonna, like I said when I initially talked about the suspension, it's gonna make him look hypocritical. I mean, heck, this information being leaked right now is making them, mostly Vince McMahon, look hypocritical, because if he's just saying, if his original plan was, I'll just have Roman lose the WWE World Heavyweight Championship clean into Seth, and then have Seth drop it to Dean in a cash-in. Yeah, that'll be punishment enough for what he did. If Vince McMahon would have done, Vince McMahon having that as his original plan makes him look hypocritical. But now that this has come to light in WWE, obviously, mostly Vince McMahon is not too happy about it, then they got no choice now but to change things up. Basically, in my opinion, in light of this additional information and the indication basically now, if not the reality of the fact that WWE, mostly Vince McMahon, plays favorites, then things have really got to start changing now, because WWE is either got to say, okay, we just got to accept the fact that nothing's off limits now. Everybody knows. I guess we got to go in this direction. And they do. WWE is going to have to basically start saying, okay, it doesn't matter who you are, how high up you are on the card, how much favoritism or stroke you might have. If you violate something, you're gone. I don't see any other way WWE is going to get out of this now, because of the fact that it's pretty much been shown to the world on a silver platter that what people have said before, working for them and not working for them, is indeed true. I mean, working for them behind the scenes, in the ring, as a performer and behind the scenes, and even those that may have not worked but were considering working for them, is true. And that is the fact that they indeed play favorites and have the favorites, mostly in the form of Vince McMahon. So WWE, like I said, has got one or two choices. They keep doing what they're doing and showing how hypocritical mostly Vince McMahon is, or they switch things up and they start saying, okay, everybody is fair game now. Doesn't matter who you are, how high up you are on the card, what kind of special treatments and stuff or privileges you have behind the scenes, you violate, you're gone. So, to me, hearing this news come to light, I don't think surprises anybody that's pretty much said this for years, but it pretty much shows that WWE now has no choice but to switch things up, because now everybody, doesn't matter how high you are, doesn't matter if you're John Cena, a Randy Orton, a Triple H, a Seth Rollins, you violate, you're gone. So that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below.